Told them I am the prince of grime, and I just came back from putting brothers in hearses. I was with verses, talking all about other verses. Perfect. RTL. Young gun of the scene, Vieira, I'm keen. Might turn up with the troops like.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, to episode 7 of the Pro Show, and I am honored to welcome the first international guest on the show. He has represented England at under 16, under 17, under 18 and under 19 level, and has spent 7 wonderful years at big Leeds United. The man, the myth, the legend. Welcome, Mr. Ben Parker. How are you doing, mate?
Oh, mate, thank you so much. I didn't realise I'm the first international player
very first.
on the podcast, so I feel honoured. I hope you but it's an honour. It's really looking forward to it.
I really appreciate it, man. Appreciate the time that you've taken to chat to me. Like I said, I know you're very busy. I won't keep you too long. Let's just get quickly about Leeds United. How have you been impressed with this season thus far, through to the next round of the FA Cup? Sitting pretty in a playoff position, playing Cardiff tomorrow.
Yeah, unlike a certain team which the jerseys are behind you, we're in the next round. I didn't want to bring that up, but now you've mentioned it. Fantastic to get through to the next round, and people like connected with Leeds always think about a cup run. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? It's always a good thing winning games of football. So fantastic to get through to the next round. Obviously, the big story about that was the Patrick Bamford unbelievable goal.
What a goal! What a goal! If you see a better goal than that this season, please let me know.
I will 100% let you know. But the season overall, after a very, very difficult summer transfer window, the new manager who came into the club in the off-season, Daniel Farke, fantastic track record, obviously 2 promotions from this division to the Premier League with Norwich. And it had a lot of difficulties sorting out players' contracts. People didn't know whether they were leaving, whether they were coming in. So a lot of mess to sort out. So for the first month to 6 weeks, it was tricky, but it really settled the ship, steadied it, and we're having a good season. We're still trying to get in that top 2. It's obviously going to be difficult. I think Leicester might run away with it now.
Leicester are gone. They're like, what, 10 points clear or something like that, huh?
Yeah, and they've been fantastic, but there's second spot, and on our day, we are the best team in the division. I've said this for a number of weeks. We are the best team, but it's now, can we do it consistently? And if we do it consistently, we'll be coming to the Emirates in the Premier League next season.
Hopefully, my man. I wish. Now, look, Leeds United are a big club. They belong in the Premier League, and for me, I don't know if you can remember 2002, 2004, when you guys got relegated. It was sad for me to see them go, but obviously there are underlying reasons as to that, which we'll touch on later. But yeah, like I said, we'd like to see Leeds back. So fingers crossed.
Everything crossed, because we are a Premier League club, but you've got to do it on the pitch. That's what you got to do. Good, do it on the pitch, and hopefully we'll be back, because the fans deserve it. The fans are incredible, but we've got a great manager. We've got fantastic new owners in the 49ers, and the players really have bought into it this season. So hopefully, keep them fingers crossed, mate.
No, say no more. Let's get into it. So, Ben, I want to chat to you, starting from, look, the under 16, under 17 time, of course, like I touched on earlier, you've represented England at under 16, under 17, under 18, under 19, of course, which clearly shows you've had a love for the game from a young age already. Who were your inspirations growing up, and did you always have the dream of becoming a pro footballer, or did you have another profession in mind?
I was always one of these, Devin, where I just wanted to be a footballer. And you're at school, and of course you get the teachers saying, no, Ben, you need to concentrate on your schooling, 100%. You need to get grades. And I was like, no, but sir, I'm going to be a footballer. And they must have heard it 100 times, but that's all I ever wanted to do. So I joined the Leeds United Academy when I was 8 years old. And and stayed in the system all the way through. So fantastic experiences with that, coming to like some of like the training grounds, like your Liverpools, your Manchester Cities. Another team based in Manchester that wear red. I don't really want to say the name.
No. We don't say that name on here. We don't say that name on here.
We've got something in common, mate. We've got something in common. But fantastic experiences. So all I ever wanted to do was play football, but play football for Leeds United, because I'm a massive Leeds United fan. And you spoke about the England stuff there. And when I made my debut for the England under-16s, I was still in high school. I was 14 years old. And the first game we played Wales, where it was live on Sky Sports in England. And so it was a massive deal. And we won the game. I got man of the match.
That's like a derby. That's a big game, obviously, of course.
It's crazy. We got our bus window, the team bus window. It got smashed. Someone threw a brick at it, a Welsh fan, and that was just under 16. So like, you can imagine. I was 14 years old, thinking this is crazy. And like I say, live on Sky and playing with some of the best young players at our age in the country. Fantastic, incredible experiences. And I always thought that part of my development in my football were completely different to what I was used to within Leeds United Academy, because you're used to playing for a certain way, certain club, playing with the players you know. And then all of a sudden, international football, youth football, is completely different. And that game is so many good experiences, but great memories as well.
I love that. Just touching on England as well. Look, England have always had a few promising players, and even recently they won the Under-21 World Cup. How are you feeling about the current? I don't want to call them a golden generation, because that's Lampard in those days, but the current crop, the current generation of England players, obviously Saka, Phil Foden, those type of players with the Euros coming up. How are you feeling going into the Euro?
We have to be confident, and it's not an arrogance, but it's being aware that you have very good players, some of the best players in the world. You mentioned Saka, Foden, the big one to talk about, Jude Bellingham. What an unbelievable...
Bellingham as well. Bellingham is
unbelievable. What he's doing at Real Madrid is just... It's breaking, he's breaking every record going there. So we've got a massive chance, and I always believe, especially when these young players are a good age, it's a good environment that they've created within the England setup, and you take the chance while it's there, because you never know, you might not get a chance, you might not get a pool of players it's good again. So we set the bar high, and it's not to put pressure on the team, because England as a country, as fans, as the media, put the pressure on anyway. They expect them to win every game, every tournament. But it's having that understanding that, do you know what, we are a good team. Embrace that you're good, and go out and showcase just how good you are. And there'll be some good teams to come up against. France springs to mind. Germany, with it being held in the country. Spain are always there and thereabouts. So there are obviously some good teams, but we're just as good as them. So don't be fearful. Don't be fearful of the fact that you can win something. Embrace the challenge.
100%. So you then go pro at the age of 19. You then sent on loan to Bradford. How much do you think that benefited your career, especially at the beginning stages? Because a lot of players, when they get sent out on loan, they take it as like, oh no, I'm not good enough for this big club yet. But I feel like in some cases, it helps a player. Like if I look closer to Arsenal, Smith Rowe, it helped him, and certainly a lot of players go out on loan. So how much do you think that benefited you in the early stages of your career?
Yeah, there's two ways to look at it. So Smith Rowe, you mentioned, myself on loan, or a Phil Foden, a more high-profile player. He could have easily gone on loan, but Pep wanted him to stay within the system and develop there. So there's two ways looking at it. But I always believe if you're not playing and you reach a certain age of 18, 19, 20, you need to be playing, as we call it, in men's football. So I got the opportunity to go to Bradford, League One at the time, and I absolutely loved my time there. It made me grow up, because I got to a point where I was playing reserve football for about 4 to 5 years, because around the age of 14, playing a lot of reserve football, and I just didn't get fed up. I just knew I just needed to make that step up to football. So opportunity got at Bradford, and yeah, it makes you grow up, because all of a sudden games that you play on a weekend, they matter. Them 3 points matter, not only for the players, the club, but the fans as well. The fans pay hard-earned money to come and watch you. But I'll tell you a funny story about my time at Bradford. So my very first away game, second away game, we played Crewe away, and the following for Bradford fans, they had a great away following, and we're all warming up, all in front of the fans, and the fans started singing individual songs to the players. So at the time, we had Dean Windass was still there, who was a big fan favourite. David Weatherall, Leeds United centre half, who was there at Bradford as well. So every player's getting a song sung about them. So doing a warm up, and I knew my song was coming up soon. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what they're going to sing. All of a sudden, the fans started singing, "We all ate Leeds scum. We all ate Leeds scum."
Yeah.
What is going on here? Hang on a minute. So yeah, but no, good again. Great times, great set of lads, really good. And I'm a massive fan for getting people out, young players, and experience playing. If you can stay at your club and you're playing in the team there, fantastic. But if you're not, look to get out, look to progress your career.
Of course, 100%. No, look, that song just made me laugh. Now, of course, it was a lot of banter and tongue in cheek, but that already showed that I accepted you. I mean, so.
I think by the end, I probably took a lot more warming to than some of the others, because we had a couple of guys on loan from Derby County, and they didn't get any of these horrible songs. They were always directed to me, because I'm from Leeds. So, but
from Leeds, yeah,
it was all light-hearted in the end.
Of course. No. So, and then in 2009, one memory that stands out for me is the first time I saw you, actually. It was a playoff semi-final against Millwall, and you went on this mad 70-yard mazy run, and you crossed the ball to Becchio. Okay, look, I know you lost, but that's where I thought, like, oh, okay, this guy's got something on him. But then 2009, you received the Chairman's Award at Leeds. What did that mean to you? Because, I mean, obviously, like you said, Leeds is your boyhood club, and given the fact that you came through the ranks at Ellen Road as well.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you mentioning the cross for Luciano. It could have missed, let's be honest. I did all the
It could have been.
Typical strikers get all the credit, but no, it's a bittersweet moment, that, because a lot of fans talk to me about that goal, but more the atmosphere inside Ellen Road. And as you mentioned, we didn't win. We got knocked out in the semi-final, lost 2-1 overall. On aggregate, but the atmosphere still to this day, a lot of fans, because spend a lot of time down at Ellen Road, they still say till this day they've never heard Ellen Road as loud.
Blocking you.
Honestly, it was incredible, the atmosphere. So it's great to have a memory like that. But yeah, so the coming into the kind of 2009. And that's when it kind of started changing a little bit for myself, to be honest.
Yeah, true. And the Chairman's Award, what did that mean to you?
Because with that award, it came as a shock, because it's like I say, all I ever wanted to do was play for Leeds, play professional football, but play football for Leeds United. So I was living my dream, had that fantastic moment with setting the goal up for Luciano. But I didn't think I'd get a recognition at end of season, because in our team, Jermaine Beckford was scoring all the goals, so he was kind of nailed on player of the season. Young player, it might have been Fabian Delph or Johnny House, incredible players. So I just stayed up to the awards thinking, do you know what? I'm going to have a good evening tonight. Like, I know I'm not going to win anything, because these guys.
I'm not going to win anything. I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yeah, these guys are incredible. So went there, and when my name got mentioned, I was like, is this for real? So it did mean a lot of the time. It really did, and it kind of it gives you that kind of added confidence to think, oh, do you know what, I'm actually doing all right here, and
You're doing okay.
gives you that platform to hopefully kick on again.
Of course. So then you sign your contract extension in July 2009, like you said, 3-year deal. You assist Jermaine Beckford with another amazing run as well, in a 2-1 win on the opening day. But then a hamstring injury forced you to come off, which keeps you on the sideline for several weeks. You then suffer a setback, and then you have to go a hip operation. What's going through your mind at this stage? Because most players would have given up after all these setbacks, especially injuries and having all these setbacks constantly. What is going through your mind at that point?
I think the first thing is that I'm 21 years old and I need hip surgery. And I always thought hip surgery were just for old people, like in the 60s.
Exactly.
So I'm like, what is going on here? Hang on a minute. But no, I knew I had an issue with my hips going into the start of that season. But thought we'd be able to manage it. And we did throughout pre-season, managed it really well, had a very good pre-season. And coming, like you mentioned, start the season, set up the first goal for Jermaine, everything going well. And the reason I got the hamstring tear, it was only a grade 1, so I was meant to be out for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
It wouldn't heal properly because my hips weren't functioning right, and it was just putting more strain on different parts of my body. So after a period of time, we had to make the decision. Look, we need to get the hip surgery done. So I needed both my hips doing. So I got my left one done. That was the worst. So then the recovery period, you have to wait 6 weeks before you get your second one done. So in that kind of time, we're approaching kind of January, and the FA Cup draw got made, and Leeds United got drawn away to Manchester United. So I had a dilemma. I was like, do I get the second hip operated on now, which would completely rule me out of that game, or do I postpone it? And it was fine to postpone. I spoke to all the surgeons, the medical department, fine to postpone to give me the best chance to try and be involved for the game. So we postponed the surgery on the second one on my right hip. Unfortunately, I didn't quite make the squad because I'd been out for 4 months. I'd only trained, I think, 2-3 times. But I was part of the travelling squad that went down, stayed overnight. Didn't quite make the bench, unfortunately. But
you won. You won, though. Beckford won. You guys won.
We
at
won.
Trafford, at Old Trafford. So.
Yeah, Jermaine. If you've never heard Jermaine talk or speak, he might mention once or twice that he scored the winning goal at Old Trafford. If that were me, I'd do this. I would not stop talking about it.
But I also wouldn't stop.
Yeah. So with all this kind of stuff happening, it was start of a domino effect injury wise for myself. And the problem with having issues with your hips and obviously getting surgery on both my hips is that it alters your biomechanics, how you run. So then without visually seeing it, internally on my body, on my joints, I was running ever so slightly different, and my joints and my body didn't know how to react to it at the time. And then it started, like I said, a process of having a lot of issues with different parts of my body, which led me to a lot of surgeries, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay. But like I said, you came back and you came back stronger. And then Leeds won promotion that year. And again, you get the chairman's award again, the legendary Ken Bates presenting you with this one. Did that one mean more in the sense that it just showed how much how much you meant to the Leeds faithful, given what you've been through also that season as well?
Yeah, I think it did mean more second time round, just because didn't play hardly much that season, as I mentioned, down to the injuries. But I thought it was a real nice touch from the chairman. And look, Ken Bates is not got a great reputation in and around Leeds for obvious reasons.
Of course.
But he gave me the second award, and I think it just kind of almost like, do you know what, we do think highly of you, Ben. And it did mean a lot. Again, I got taken back by, I didn't expect to win nothing at all. I was actually in crutches. I was in a cast because I'd ruptured my Achilles that time. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so it came as even more of a surprise compared to the first time round, but it did mean so much more, and it kind of gave me that added motivation to try and overcome these injuries, trying to get. And all I wanted to do was repay the faith of the chairman at the time, but the manager, the players, all the other staff, especially the medical department, and I have to mention Harvey Sharman, who was head of medical at the time. Brilliant people, and you do get dark days with these injuries, and when you get a lot of setbacks all the time, but great people. And all I wanted to do, try and get back and repay the faith, and no different to getting that second award from the chairman.
No, I love. I'm going to touch on a bit of a touchy subject now. So your long-term mate, Johnny Housen, is sold. Then, obviously, as you know, prompting a protest from the fans due to lack of investment. Do you think the lack of investment in the squad was the reason why Leeds couldn't stay longer in the Prem? Not only this particular season, but pertaining to that time that I was alluding to, 2003, 2000, because I mean, you guys had a killer team with Olivier Dacour, Eric Kuehl, Mark Paducah. Okay, Lucas Radebe didn't leave, but who am I still leaving? Ian Hart, those guys.
100%. Obviously, around like your Lucas Radebe. By the way, have to give the chief a shout out. What a legend! I know his a massive name back where you guys are.
Yeah.
But it's just as big as the name back here in England, even more so in Leeds. And I love that guy. What a guy he is! But around that time, it were money issues that was their downfall. But then coming to our time, and you mentioned Johnny Housen there. Obviously, we just got the promotion from League One, and around Christmas time, we were second in the league in the Championship, and coming into the January transfer window. And I think Simon Grayson, the manager at the time, mentioned he were wanting to sign 3 or 4 players just to kick us on again, some more experience.
Give a some new fresh blood coming in to give a kickstart for the final, of course. The final stretch.
Exactly. So, but we didn't get that, and it was complete opposite. We started selling our best players, and Johnny being one of them, and it was a real difficult one was that because obviously I were really close to Johnny. We'd known each other since we were 8-9 years old. I'd been a groomsman at his wedding and stuff. So good friend. And to see him go because he didn't want to leave. He wanted to play in the Premier League, and he wanted to do that with Leeds. That were his goal. But Leeds accepted an offer from Norwich, who were in the Premier League, and sometimes player decisions get taken out of your hands. So he went there. Obviously, the fans weren't happy. The players were disappointed because we felt we're in a great position. Probably similar to Ipswich this season. Ipswich come up from League One, flying in second, and we were in a very similar situation. And we just thought if we got the squad stronger, we'd have probably gone in the top 2 or playoffs very minimum. And we ended up that season in 7th. So it was real like disappointment, and it was just a lot of frustration with the fans because we could see if we got backed, who knows what would have happened. But it's it's just unfortunate how kind of that period played out in the end.
Fair enough. Then in 2013, 2014, you were then a co-commentator on BBC and obviously doing some punditry work for Elliot TV. Was it difficult to make that transition from playing the game to now having to talk about the game? And of course, Leeds United, because if I must commentate on Arsenal, I find it very difficult to remain calm, number one. But how difficult was it to make that transition?
Difficult in certain ways, but easier in others. So the difficulty, I had no experience. I'd never done any kind of courses to help me, any training. So you're kind of learning on the job. Difficult as well. So I'm now commentating on some of the players that I only played with a year or so ago. So you don't want to be too critical, but then you've got to get an element.
Critical, of course, yeah.
You've got to get an element of honesty over. But with BBC Radio Leeds, Adam Pope, who heads the commentary there, me and Pope had known each other going all the way back to 2006. So we had a relationship since then. And I always find as a co-commentator, it's a lot easier when you've got someone really good, really experienced alongside you, knowing a relationship, knowing when to talk, knowing when to let the other person talk. So the transition overall was pretty simple. Obviously, I probably wasn't very good at the time. I probably still need to get better now, but it's all about experience. It's like riding a bike. Because more times you do it, more you're going to be able to ride that bike. And it's similar to commentary, a lot of things in life. So it was good. But the main thing is I enjoyed it. That was the biggest part, because I did a bit of coaching around that kind of time, and I can't do it. But it wasn't a real passion, but I enjoyed doing the commentary, the media work, and I always say to even kids who are playing football, they go, "Oh, give us some advice. What would you say?" They're expecting tactically or technically. There's no, it applies to anything. If you enjoy what you do, that is a massive part of it.
100%. So you would never go into coaching, Ben?
No, well, I've got up to my UEFA B in my coaching badges. So above that is your A license, and then your pro license, and that they take quite a while to do. But again, it's not a massive passion for myself at the moment, and it's if I help out now and again coaching wise, of course I will do. But the other bits of work I am doing now is definitely kind of my thing at the moment.
Okay, love that. Now let's come on to some more good news, which you shared with me. You recently joined the PFS community team as a community liaison executive to support the delivery of community initiatives and partnerships across football leagues. Tell me and the viewers more about this initiative, because I like initiatives like this, especially when professional footballers who have played the game, know the game, can actually give back to the community. So tell me more about this.
Yeah, exactly. So player engagements, player visits, it's not a new thing. It's been clubs always engage in the local community. So first and foremost, I'm absolutely delighted that I've joined the PFA, new into the role. It's been great. Really,
you enjoying it?
Really enjoyable. Some fantastic people who've worked there for 30 plus years, people who've just coming in like myself. But it's a real good family kind of atmosphere at the PFA. Everyone's willing to help you out, which for a new start has been great. So it's for myself to connect to clubs, speak to clubs all around player engagement, see what they're doing, how can we help from a PFA perspective, and getting along to as many player visits as possible. And it doesn't matter if it's at Leeds United, if it's at Preston, if it's down in Shrewsbury. I'll travel wherever I need to travel, because one, it's great to see the players out in the community giving back. The players want to give back, but also the foundations, the trusts of the football clubs, they do a lot of great work, and it's showcasing what they do whilst having a player engagement, a player visit attached to it. So it's been great. It's been very busy to start with, but it's been one of them. I've been absolutely loving it.
I'm glad, man. I love it. It's like I said, it's a nice initiative. We don't have that kind of initiatives here, of course, but that's why I wanted to ask you about that as well, because I feel, like I said again, it's good if professional footballers can give back to, who knows, we could be looking at the next Ben Parker. It could be right there in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the great thing about the PFA, it's all for about the players, whether you're a current player, whether you've retired, whether you've moved on, you're into a different line of work. There's a lot of help out for the players, and it's showcased even more by being out in the community. And only last year that the PFA were actually in Cape Town. They went out to the townships in Cape Town, and they put workshops on. They put some classroom elements to it. Did a lot of football coaching in the townships. So this is the reach the PFA do actually have, and the PFA want to give back to communities, whether it's in our country or, like I said, out in Cape Town. So the PFA are powerful. They're forward thinking. Our new chief executive, Maheta, there's a real passion around that. It gets it. So it's an exciting time to be a part of the PFA.
I love. If you do find yourself in Cape Town, you must let me know, eh?
I will let you know. You can show me all around. It'd be great.
Please, oh, definitely, I definitely will. I just want to go through some quick fire questions. Hobbies away from football.
Fire away. So hobbies outside. So I love sport. So I'm a massive rugby fan. So rugby league over here, but rugby union. The Lions, when we tour South Africa, we'll let you guys win. Like you guys.
I must tell you something. They're gonna beat you. I'm an All Black. I must admit, I'm an All Black. I don't support the Springboks. I'm an All Black. Let me just get that out there. But I will be rooting for the Lions. No mistake about that.
So rugby. The darts has been on over here over Christmas, and there's a massive kind of gathering of new darts fans. But that's great. So love going to the horse racing. It's a great social event over here. So it's a lot of different sports. NFL, a big fan of NFL. Love watching that. It's the playoffs about to start.
Playoffs about to start.
So anything sporting wise, massive fan. But rugby's my main one.
Love. Toughest opponent.
Say that again, mate.
Your toughest opponent that you played against.
Toughest opponent. I've been lucky enough to play against some unbelievable players, unbelievable names. Probably more so been away with England. So I could say, France, we played against Benzema. Sami Nasri was in the French set at our age. And then Germany had Toni Kroos. Spain had Cesc Fabregas. They had Gerard Piqué. So playing against these players, even though when you're like 16, 17, 18, you can tell they're good. They're not bad. They're all right. But
you can see that this kid's got something about him. He's a level above.
Yeah. But there's a player who's played a lot over here in the Football League and even in the Premier League as well, a guy called Jason Puncheon. And I always had good battles against Jason Puncheon because he was quite...
He played for Blackburn, no? He played for Blackburn, right?
I'm not sure what all his clubs were. I remember him at, I think his last group was like Crystal Palace, I think, mate. Or
Palace as well, yeah. Palace, yeah.
So he's had a fantastic career, but it was one of those players. It would never play out wide. It'd always drop into a pocket of space, and as a fullback, you didn't want to go engage him or hold back. If you went to engage, it could like turn really sharp, and it was quick after like the first 10 yards. And if you gave him time, he could hurt you with his left foot. So I always like thought that the players were tricky because if you played against somebody who was out and out pace, I didn't mind that because you knew what he was coming up against. But those those tricky players, they're the hardest ones to play against.
Fair enough. Favorite stadium besides Ellen Road that you played in?
There's only one stadium. It's Ellen.
Come on, Ben. There must be one that you would have said, okay. I like this.
You know what? The Emirates is good. The Emirates is good.
You're only saying that because you nearly beat us at the Emirates. That's why you're saying so.
Do you know the food afterwards was good? We had pizzas. They brought pizzas in. So that was and then the following year when we played during the FA Cup, David Beckham was in the tunnel area. So we're all getting pictures of David Beckham. But no, these modern stadiums, Tottenham's new stadium. Sorry for mentioning that.
No, it's fine. But I know it's nice. It's modern.
Unbelievable stadium. But it's great having these modern stadiums, but you need an atmosphere within your stadium. So I'll give you Emirates. Come on, I'll give you a bit.
Okay, thank you. I'll take it. I thought you would have said Anfield. Because everybody talks about Anfield.
No, last season when I was at Anfield, we beat Liverpool 2-1. Somerville.
You beat them 2-1.
Yeah, Somerville scored a last-minute winner. there were no atmosphere. All you could hear was the Leeds fans, and throughout the game. So it's every time I've been to Anfield, zero atmosphere. And I know there's a lot of Liverpool fans out in South Africa, all around the world. I do apologise, but we beat you. Somerville beat you.
Exactly, you beat them. Take it. Favorite moment in your career?
Favorite moment, making my debut for Leeds has to be that. Like I said earlier, all I ever wanted to do was to play for Leeds. Growing up, I was one of these fans, so shared a bedroom with my brother. So not a big house at all, but we had Leeds United wallpaper, we had Leeds United duvets, lampshades, curtains, Leeds United calendar on the wall. I were Leeds obsessed. I just loved Leeds United. So all I ever wanted to do was play for the club. So to make my debut, and it was just like so special, and it's something that no one can ever take that away from me.
No one can take that away from you. I mean, representing your boyhood club, that's every guy's dream, every person's dream. So everyone that wants to aspire to be a footballer. Which league is harder, the Championship or the Premier League? Given the fact, and I'm specifically relating to the fact that the Championship has so many games, and even given after the fact that you've played all those games, you now have to pick yourself up again and play playoffs. That's if you are in those spots again.
That's why the Championship, or even the Football League in general, is so tough, because it's relentless. Obviously, there's more games, 46 games compared to 38, and it doesn't sound like a difference. But when you add the cup competitions in as well, and you're playing on your Tuesday nights, and then the Saturday, and then midweeks again, it's really, really difficult to try and be at your best. And the key to it is, if you're not at your best, finding a way to get the points. And ultimately, that'll get you promotion. So it's difficult, that side of things. But then the Premier League, the difficult with the Premier League is the quality. And I've noticed a massive difference from watching Leeds the last 3 seasons in the Premier League back to the Championship. Yes, don't get me wrong, some of the teams in the Championship have showcased Premier League quality at times, but not every team are able to do that. There is a big drop-off in quality from the Premier League to the rest, and making that step up is so big. But you can have the momentum, and that's why we did so well in our first season back, finishing 9th in the Premier League, is because we had the momentum, the players bought into it, we had a system in place that worked for us. Unfortunately, we went away from that a little bit for a variety of reasons, but the quality in the Premier League, that's why it's the best league in the world.
Say no. Now I want to touch on something. You rejected Manchester United as a teenager. Why?
Why not? Why not? Honestly, my parents would not let me come home if I did that. I'd be homeless.
Really?
I'd have been homeless. My dad, my mum, my brother, my grandparents. I wouldn't have been able to come home.
Let's just say, even if you could have gone on to win, bring home so many medals. Because at that time, United weren't as shit as they are now, though. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, but at the time, all I ever wanted to do was play for Leeds. And look, I get all that. Of course, I do. Eddie Gray was a massive part for me. Leeds United legend, one of the best players in our history. He was the caretaker manager at the time, and it didn't take me. Eddie Gray didn't have to convince me to stay at Leeds. It was just the odd conversation I'd have with him around the place, and no, it was an easy decision for me. Let's be honest. Leeds or Manchester United, there's only going to be one winner. It's not that other team. Pennines.
Of course, and that's still your rivals, of course, now pick up. I'm glad you rejected them, though. I'm glad you rejected them. Let me just get that one out there. Given the fact that the game has changed in terms of the left back role in particular, with this whole inverted thing, of course, you've watched Pep and obviously Arsenal trying the new thing, of course, with this whole inverted. I personally don't like it. But do you think you would have enjoyed that role more, or did you always like the traditional left back, getting up and down the wing, bombing down, whopping crosses in? Which one do you think would you have enjoyed more?
Yes, it's a good question, is that? And I think if someone could guarantee me that my body won't give up on me, Like my body's fit. I'm able to play all the games. I think I would enjoy playing today because growing up, I started basically as a left forward, a left winger, and I'm just going to put this in here just to big myself up a little bit. I was the under 13, under 14 top goal scorer. So that's my highlight.
So you can score goals, so that tells you got an eye for goal, of course.
Yeah, but then obviously played from under 15s onwards, played left back. But I played different positions. I played centre mid. Sometimes I play as a number 10. A couple of games at centre half as I got older. So I think it's just like positional play, knowing where you are on the pitch, because when you're in that inverted fullback position and you're receiving a ball on the half turn and it's a lot busier in midfield, it's just knowing where you are and being comfortable receiving those type of passes. So, like technically, I'm always good technical player, because the Leeds United Academy brought the players up. They still do now, been very good technically with the ball. So I'd have suited it. It'd be interesting. I'm not sure I'd be top goal scorer like my under 13 days, but I wouldn't mind giving it a go.
Love it. I'm sure you would have made it. I mean, given what you've just told me now, of course. But yeah, we've come to the end. And then, like I always ask every professional footballer that's been on the show, Ben, what advice would you give to youngsters in South Africa that want to maybe one day want to play in the Premier League one day? What advice would you give them?
I think I alluded to it earlier on, but it's about the enjoyment, because you can practice your technical ability, you can practice your shooting, you can practice all different elements of the game. But the thing that will make you do those practices is the enjoyment. Think back to us as when we were kids. Why did we play football? Because we love football. We enjoyed playing.
Love football, of course.
We enjoyed playing with our friends. And this is for girls as well, boys and girls. Always enjoy it, because if you enjoy it, you'll learn quicker, because the information will settle in. You'll want to go to train more. You'll want to do extra work. So please enjoy it, because it's the best game in the world. And playing with your friends every single day on the weekends, it doesn't get any better than that. So it's, support Leeds for one, but then enjoy it for two.
I will support Leeds. I mean, they're hoping they come up. So don't worry. You at least got one extra supporter. Don't worry. But Ben, again, I want to thank you for taking the time to chat to me. It's been 40 minutes, but time flew. I didn't even realize the time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so much for taking the time, giving me that insight and all of these wonderful memories. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you so much. It's fantastic work you do. Everybody, download the podcast, watch it on YouTube, hit like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. This is the main guy here, but thank you for having me. I've absolutely loved it.
Thank you, Ben. And that's like you heard Ben Parker say, people, like, share, subscribe. It's DVD, it's Ben Parker, and we are out of here. Bless.
Here we go with Leeds United.